Hi,
Hiya,
Mark.
Cam. Bah.
I think we got. I think okay. We've got an apology to make, haven't we?
We really do. We're really sorry, guys. We're really, really sorry. Last week kind of got away from us.
It did.
Um, I was in Berlin. You were in Northampton,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Wi-Fi being Wi-Fi wasn't very good,
yeah,
and we couldn't do
yeah.
a podcast last week. So really, really sorry, guys. We really wanted to do one, and yeah, we uh,
Yeah, it just
we
didn't work out.
failed.
That's right.
It
I
didn't.
mean, we are working photographers, and our schedule has just got so busy. I mean, look, we're recording this on a Sunday morning
Yeah,
because later on, Mark, we're both going to be heading into London, aren't we, for a
yeah,
2 day shoot in London?
exactly.
And so we're trying to squeeze these podcasts in. And as our diaries get busier and busier, our schedule gets harder and harder to do these podcasts. But anyway, we're
Yeah,
here now, and it was a missed episode, but not to worry. So what
yeah.
have we got, Mark? You've come across an advert, shall we say?
Well, yes. I mean, there's a couple of things we want to discuss today, isn't there, Cam? So
Hmm.
I think you saw a cool piece of tech that we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, I did see this advert. Do you remember a few episodes ago? I found an advert. It's another AI advert. So do you remember I found it? And it was about you take a picture and you can put people in different outfits, and eventually you could have them with no clothes on, which I just
Yeah,
thought was
bit
was
bizarre.
was not was not cool. Well, I found another one. Maybe it's because I clicked on that one just to see what it was about
Hmm.
for this podcast, obviously. That yeah, this one came up, and I don't know what you think to this, but there's a couple of reasons why I didn't like it. So first of all, I'll explain what it is. I'm not going to shout them out because I don't like them, but basically,
Okay.
it's an AI app that claims to recreate the photos to what you think you look like. Okay.
Mhm.
So it kind of goes through the advert, there's this thing called lens distortion, and that's what makes your nose bigger, and that's why you don't look like what you look like, and all this kind of stuff. And don't worry, this AI app will fix that. It'll flatten your nose, it'll do your cheekbones, it'll do all this sort of stuff, probably do a filter on it for your skin and all that kind of thing, and basically make you look like the way you think you look, right? Now,
Hmm.
first off, I think a lot of that is fluff. I mean, it's based on reality, but it's a lot of fluff. Yes, lens distortion is a thing, but step back and zoom in, guys. That's how you get rid of that. Um, the other thing, I mean, mobile phones do tend to have wide angle lenses, and yes, I get that. But one of the things I was always taught when doing portraiture is the reason why people always think they look odd in a photo or don't like the way they look in the photos, because generally as human beings, when we see ourselves, we see mirror reflections of ourselves. So
Hmm.
whether it's in a window, whether it's a mirror, even on this Zoom that we're talking to through now, right? I'm looking at myself and I am back to front. I can tell
Hmm.
because in my hat, Hawkins Tigers, it's back to front. And you're the same. So we're so used to seeing mirror reflections of ourselves that when we
Hmm.
actually see a photo, which is the right way round, and how other people see you, it looks odd, and you think, "Oh, I don't like that," and it sticks in your head because it's switched, and your brain thinks, "Oh, that's a bit weird," because we're so used to looking at reflections. Now, so that's one of the main reasons that people think they look odd, and we've all got hang-ups about ourselves. I certainly do. I'm sure you do as well, Cam. We all
Yeah, of course
do.
we do.
We all do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with models, and they all have hang-ups on this on certain parts of them as well. And they make money out of the way they look. So we're all in that boat. But I just I find this I just find it troubling in two areas. First of all, they're trying to say all this fluff and sort of rationalize it in the way that they're doing. But also, you know, what is this doing for mental health? For me, this advert is saying basically, mate, you've got a big nose, but we're going to politely tell you that this is why, and we're going to fix it for you. It's just constructing
Yeah.
something. It's not really you. Do you know what I mean? And I find this is going to be difficult for people's mental health and what
Yeah.
we think about ourselves, I guess.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, this is just another step forward in takes Instagram, shall we say, Instagram filters another step forward.
Mm,
It's another leap forward in technology. And, we've spoken about it many times, like nowadays people don't, or there's just people that are using Instagram and take a lot of photos of themselves. They're the ones that constantly are seeing themselves, but in a sort of but represented not the way that they think they not the way that they really are. So they will do face slimming, they'll put a filter on, they will put on, smooth all the wrinkles out and say, hey, look, I'm 50 years old, but look, I look amazing for my age, because suddenly you look 20 because you've taken out all these wrinkles and everything.
mm.
I think it's just another step forward in AI. Maybe are you overthinking it, would you say, Mark? I mean,
Maybe. And
I agree. But the thing is it will affect. It's already affected mental health. People are not happy with their image, especially when they see what they really look like when they see a photo, because we know that they think they look like what they see on Instagram. That's what they really do think they look like.
but do programs like this exacerbate the problem though?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think these programs, yes, they do, but I think these programs also have another role to play in photography, because they're going to be used in. It's not just about people, but when it comes to
Mm.
about people, this never going to stop, Mark.
Oh,
No one's going to say, is it? Look, we're going to outlaw this because it's not real or it's not right. It will,
mm.
it's us as human beings and how we actually, it's how we use it as
Oh, absolutely.
individuals.
I completely agree. I mean, I'm going to use a football analogy now. So
Hmm.
there's this thing about called VAR. I'm sure people
Hmm.
know what it is. It's was it the virtual assistant referee or something?
Video assisted.
Video assistant
Yeah,
referee. I beg your
yeah.
pardon. And basically, there's a lot of issues about what's offside and what's not offside. I'm not going to go into the details of that. And people are having a go at this at VAR and why. But my feeling about that is it's not the technology that's at fault. It's the way it's interpreted. Now, I don't have an issue with AI as such. It's the way that humans use it and the way
Mm,
that this advert, although I don't have an issue with it, I understand technology moves forward. And look, I use
mm,
AI in certain things now.
mm,
Lightroom's got it in it. Photoshop
yeah.
has it in it. My issue isn't with AI. My issue is actually with this company and the way
Mm.
that they're selling this product. It's the product they've made out of AI I have an issue with, not AI itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But the thing is it, like Instagram will have this. It will just be a little button that you press, it will little click and
Mm,
whatever. It's just that they're pushing this forward. They're advertising it more and more. But in Instagram, it will be there. There will be I don't know,
yeah.
what would you call it in Instagram? I don't know
Well, a
what you would
filter of
call a
some
filter.
description, I
A filter.
guess.
I don't know
But
what you'd
yeah,
call a filter. That's right. Yeah.
no.
Um, I just think that it's up. This is going to be up to each individual. The problem is, as the generations go on, more and more people are going to be
Mm.
using it.
Oh, I know, I
Um,
know.
and
Uh,
then you've got the head, and then of course, I mean, we talk about recently when we, headshot photographers. Now, you can get professional headshots, or let's say professional looking headshots done through AI. You upload a
mm,
series of images that you've taken on your phone, and they will send them back to you looking like professional headshots with different
yeah,
backgrounds, different clothes. And look, I'm going to be honest, I've seen some of them and I think they look damn good.
yeah, they
Okay.
do, they do.
Now
But
that,
that's almost a positive use of AI. I think this is very negative, changing noses
hmm,
and cheekbones and all that. Do you not?
yeah, but I think it's been happening anyway, Mark. That's
Oh,
my
I know.
thing. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
happening
yeah,
anyway. And I get what you're saying. They're sort of pushing it out there even more, aren't they?
yeah.
They're
And
taking
using a
away
lot of
from,
fluff and BS to
yeah, yeah, they're removing, they're moving us further away from reality, or moving a lot of people further away from reality. I
mm,
think that's where the problem is. I mean, I mean, I know that it's going to be hundreds of of headshot photographers listening to this, thinking, either going to be thinking, that oh no, where am I going to be as a headshot photographer when I'm not needed because this can go AI. Some are going to be thinking you'll never replace a real photographer.
mm.
And I don't know where the answer is for that. You know, um, are headshot photographers always going to be needed, or will everyone be going to AI? I honestly don't know.
Mm.
So it's it's an ever developing sort of story, I would say,
Yes.
with AI, because it's going to just become, it's just become more and more used.
Mm.
More and more companies are going to be using it to save costs.
Mm.
You know, it will be about, you know, you don't need to use the photographer that we've been using for the last 10 years for all our headshots. You
Mm.
know, we've got an in-house program where you just upload your images and you can do your own editing. You know, this will
Mm.
correct your nose, it will correct your eyes. Um,
But
it's a lot of it.
you don't need your nose correcting, people. That's
No,
all I'm saying.
no, you
You don't
don't.
need to. You don't need
No.
to. I mean, like I say, we've all got hang-ups on ourselves, but but this is the thing that it's saying the way this advert is saying it is like we're going to make you look the way you think you look,
Mm.
but that's not the way you look, you know.
No, no, that's right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's it's turning someone to somebody else, and that's not you. And I think that's the crux of it. That's the bit that really jars with me.
Yeah. 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 I get that. And you know, I agree with everything that you just said. But, you know, my sort of thing is that you just can't stop it.
No, I
And
know.
what are we going to do? You
Well,
know,
we can call
you
them
know,
out though. We can call them out if we think it's wrong.
yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the comments that came with this advert
Oh
here,
yeah.
and most of the comments I would say are not very complimentary. You know, it says that some people saying this is just BS. They're just using, you know, super ugly people in this. I shouldn't really say that, but that's just what
No.
a comment said. Your photos, it says, um, you know, hire a photographer. You shouldn't be using AI. Ever heard of the theory that you're full of BS? And one or two people asking, how much is this?
Yeah.
And so many people are already there using filters. One day everything will be fake. There will be nothing that's real or natural. Sad state of affairs. It,
Yeah.
and that's what I agree with. That's
Yeah.
probably what it is. You know,
Yeah. I think that's what
even the
my
ad,
main issue comes from.
yeah, even the voiceover is AI, or a lot of people are saying it's AI.
Yeah, of course it
Um,
is.
you know, but yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what other. I'd like to know what particularly headshot photographers. If any of you headshot photographers out there, have you been affected
Mm.
by AI? Have you lost? Are you losing any clients because they have gone to AI? And in
Yeah.
fact, I'm also going to put it out there. Any photographers out there, have you actually gone out, taken some headshots, and then used the AI program to edit those photos that the customer could actually have done themselves?
Yeah, I mean,
You
it'd
know,
be interesting to download one of these programs and see what they do with me.
yeah,
You know, and what I
yeah.
look. I mean, I remember you. Was it it's a while ago now? I did the Ken doll one. Do you remember that? So you can check that out a few episodes ago.
Yes, that's right.
Um,
Yeah,
and you can kind of tell it looks like me, but you know, I look like a Ken doll,
yeah,
which is amusing. And that's what I think we're all going to be starting looking like with these things.
yeah,
And that's the thing that I guess worries. Another point as well. I'm just going to say the voiceovers AI, and that would be a shame. Good narration, you know, if you what part makes a great sort of documentary series, you know, we can talk about the colors and the way it's shot and all that, but to have that great narration is
yeah.
key. You know, we're blessed that we had David Attenborough, who I think turned 98 yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah.
amazing, isn't it? Yeah, yeah,
You know, and I watched something else about Neanderthals and Patrick Stewart was the narrator, Sir Patrick Stewart,
mm,
sorry. And it just there's an extra oomph to it.
mm.
And I
Oh yeah,
really
definitely.
hope it
That's right.
doesn't
Yeah,
go to AI because
yeah. The
it's no
thing is,
emotion, it's no flat,
I think,
it's not flat.
yeah, the things it will do, Mark, because AI will become more. It will improve. It will get better, and it's going to cut down on costs at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and bottom line is
Yeah.
really when it comes to, you know, corporates, you know, and media entertainment is going to be cutting costs. If they can cut costs
Yeah.
rather than employing a real person to do it all, that's what's going to happen. You know,
Yeah, but
so
us as the people should say no.
yeah,
We say
that's right. Yeah,
no, don't
yeah, that's right.
destroy
Yeah,
what we've got. I know it's
but
cheaper, but there's a reason
yeah,
it's cheaper.
yeah, yeah. You know, and I think sadly that's what will happen. And but I think we'll be long gone by then,
You
which I don't
think?
have a problem. Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't. I think we're looking at
No.
the next 10 years. I think, yeah,
Oh yeah. I think yeah. I think I'm looking further down the line. I think life will
mm,
change a lot more. But yes, and I mean, in the last year, how things have changed. You think
yeah.
of the technology we've got in our phones now, how that's changed
Mm,
in a short space of time. As we've always said, technology we are at the point now where technology is moving faster than it's ever moved before,
Yeah.
and we're only just touching the surface, really. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And AI is a big one. It's a big sort of, what's the word? A certain point, isn't it? In watershed moments. That's the word I was looking for. Yes, it's a watershed moment in our tech. It's just changed everything.
Exactly.
In all walks of life. I know so many podcasts and so many shows that everyone's talking about AI in their particular field. It is such a change, and
That's right. Yeah.
for good and for bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool.
There you
Anyway,
go.
I'm
Right.
up for a drink.
Yes, let's grab that, and then we're going to talk something techie and geeky for everyone.
Yes, but no AI for the next one. Thank heavens, you'll
That's right.
say.
Yeah. Let's grab a drink. Okay, Mark. Now, we're photographers, and
We
we're a
are.
bit geeky.
Well,
You know, well, we are.
Yeah. Well, to be fair,
are,
I've got a Hawkins Tigers hat on today, so yeah, that does show my geekiness. So yeah,
right. Yeah. Look, we are very geeky, aren't we? We love tech.
yeah, yeah.
We're going to be heading off into London a little bit later today for a shoot. We're going to be working with a number of other photographers, and
We are.
everyone's going to be, looking at cameras and gear and all that. That's what we do. And one of the things that we all talk about that we have are things like card readers, memory cards. We talk about speed, backing up, and all of that. And obviously, the more work you do, the faster you want it, and the more efficient that you want to get, and you want to be backing up your work quicker. So I wanted to talk about drives a little bit, and SSD drives in particular, because there's something new that's just come out, which has really captured my attention.
Okay.
It's a Sandisk disk drive SSD. Now, first of all, SSD. Let me just explain what SSD means. SSD means solid state drive. So we have HDD, that's hard disk drives, and we have SSD.
And what's the difference between the two?
Okay, so basically they're both they're both forms of storage of data storage. Okay, the newer version of those of the HDD is an SSD, and it's something that works. A solid state drive works much quicker than a HDD. So if you go and buy a storage device or something, maybe you need some memory in your computer, and it says, or you want to buy a portable drive, and it says it's an SSD drive. What you're going to do is you're going to find out that SSD drive is going to work much, much quicker than a HDD drive. Okay, and you'll always notice it. You'll always know it's SSD because it clearly says, if you're going to buy something, it says SSD after it.
Yeah.
What that's going to do, it's going to make all of your workflow much, much quicker. The SSD drives, they store. I mean, I'm just going to read. It says it stores data permanently inside an integrated circuit, typically using flash memory. And the flash memory inside an SSD means data is written, transferred, and erased electronically and silently. Basically, the SSD doesn't have the moving parts found inside a mechanical hard disk drives. Okay, so, and that's always been my understanding. It doesn't have any moving parts in it.
And does that make it more reliable as well? Is that right?
Well,
there's less moving parts, there's less things can break and all that kind of stuff.
Funnily enough, I was reading about this because I wanted to see what were the pros and cons against it. Okay, yeah. Now the pros were that it's much, much quicker. Okay, an SSD is much, much quicker. That was the biggest thing. And the drawbacks were that they're considerably more expensive.
Yeah.
And in some cases you can't, the amount of space they have, the capacity, the number of terabytes that they go up to is limited. Hard disk drives can be 2.5 times bigger from what I'd sort of been looking at. Okay. But if you look after it, an SSD drive, you're always going to be that much more careful with it. The only reason is because you've paid a hell of a lot more for it. Okay. So now, an SSD drive, I bought an SSD drive, and I've got it here, okay, which I'm just going to hold up to the screen. I'm actually backing something up at the moment, so I'm hoping it doesn't connect, okay. So in actual fact, I don't think I can hold it up high enough because it's just connected to my computer here, okay. But we'll bring up a picture of it, okay. Now this SSD drive is a Sandisk Extreme Pro portable SSD drive. And the one I've got is a 4 terabyte one, tiny little portable drive, and it cost me about, I don't know, £125. A lot of money for a 4 terabyte portable drive, but it's slick. It works really, really quickly, and the speed is revolutionary. So when you're backing up stuff, so as an example, I was backing up some work the other day, and it was probably about, I don't know, maybe 11 gigs worth of work, something like that. Now, I had an old 2 terabyte HDD drive, and it took about 30 minutes to back up. Okay.
Right.
On the portable SSD drive, okay, it took about 90 seconds.
Okay.
Something
I mean,
like
that's a massive, massive
that.
difference,
Okay.
isn't it?
It's staggering, absolutely staggering. Okay. Now, and that's one of the reasons why, if you need speed and you want to be quick and you want to be efficient, and if you're backing up a lot of work, then an SSD drive really is the way to go. Of course, you're limited by your computer and the power of your PC as well. However, if you've got something that's pretty high spec, if you go and buy a computer that's high spec and then you're using an old portable drive, say for example, you're not making the best out of your PC. You're not using the PC to its capacity. Okay, so that's important to remember as well.
Do you actually keep anything on your computers? Or do you keep them all on portable drives?
No, everything's on drives. Everything's on drives. Now, this portable drive that I've bought, so I bought a couple, so somebody else that works here as well. Now, he does all his work off this drive, so he doesn't use his desktop at all. Now, he just says it's just so quick working off the portable drive rather than clogging anything up on his desktop. I still do all my work on my desktop, but I don't store anything on there. After I finish something, it's backed up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will still work on my desktop. As I said, my laptop is not used as a storage device. And that's really important for photographers and videographers, especially, is don't use your laptop or your PC to store your work on. It's just going to slow everything down. Just get some external drives, portable drives, and keep your stuff backed up on there.
And work off them. I work off my drives. I don't. The computer I have at the studio is a little slower, but I only use that really for presenting images. I don't work on it really because I do my editing at home. And I do find that if I put the images on the desktop, then the programs do run quicker because it's not on the drive. So that, but I think that's the computer thing rather than the drive thing. But when I'm editing, it's always off the drive. I never put stuff on the desktop, just like what you said. Just never have. Yeah.
So anyway, so I came across Sandisk have now released a Sandisk, what they call Sandisk Disk Drive 8 terabyte high capacity SSD, and this. It says the desk drive has expanded its Western Digital has expanded its Sandisk series with the launch of the Sandisk Drive. It says 8 gig. It should 8 terabyte. They've made a typo.
They made a typo.
It's the largest capacity yet in an external desktop SSD. And Desk Drive, they still put 8 gig everywhere. It's targeted at content creators, business professionals who require substantial storage capacity for large volumes of photos and videos and other high resolution content.
Note it doesn't say photographers, content creators. Yeah,
that's right. So content creators. That's right. Yeah. Okay. And it looks really cool. It's like it's just like a little hub.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool. But it's super fast, and they've also said that there is a 16 terabyte one coming as well.
Blimey.
Later on down in this advert, it says here, if 8 terabytes is not enough, you'll be pleased to hear that they're going to be putting a 16 terabyte. They've corrected the 8 gig to 8 terabytes.
8 terabytes.
So right at the top, they've got this 8 gig terabyte. Okay, no, it's not.
Because when you showed I was really unimpressed. 8 gig.
Yeah, that's right. 8 gig, yeah. No, it's 8 terabytes, okay? So Sandisk have launched this, and I'd be really tempted to buy this. Now, it retails, it says here, at about $380. It's on an American site at the moment. So
it's about 350 quid.
That's right, yeah.
Of which you need to buy 2 of them.
Would you?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you have one and then to back up one and a backup, would you not?
Yeah, I guess. Yes, yeah. You wouldn't need to. If you're just backing stuff up onto it, then you can be doing that. You can work off it. It's going to be so
It
so
depends
quick.
if you're mirroring drives or not, I guess. But
Yeah, if you're mirroring drives, I don't think you need to buy two. I think I say for us, for example, Mark, we're out on the
mm,
road a lot,
mm,
and and since COVID, when we've gone laptops with everything, it's
yeah,
revolutionized things.
mm,
COVID has, right? We've become even more portable now.
mm,
You know, something like this and the Sandisk portable SSD is absolutely crucial because you can back stuff up quickly. You can work much more efficiently. But when
mm,
you go back, say, to your office or home or wherever you're working, you can have slower drives just to store stuff on. If you just want to plug in the super fast one
yeah,
and have it downloading onto a slower desktop drive, then that's absolutely fine because you can just leave it plugged in overnight if you want to do that. But this here means that if you want to work off it and you want to work very quickly and you do want to store stuff, I think particularly if you're on the road, then something like this just changes
mm,
it. But remember also you have to have a good laptop, a good spec laptop as well, and a good PC. But don't be the person that goes out and buys a really, really good laptop, buys a real high spec one, but then you buy cheap portable drives because
mm,
you're not using what you bought the computer for. You
mm,
know,
yeah.
and this SSD drive at 4 terabytes, sorry, is 379. At eight
Oh,
terabytes is 699.
whoa. Okay.
Okay.
So
And when I looked at it, I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll get the 8 terabyte for
yeah,
$380. Yeah, it's now suddenly gone up to say
six.
$700.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is that's a lot
Okay.
for a drive. I mean, it is a great piece of kit, but that is a lot of money for a drive, I would suggest.
It is, but you are going to be honest with you, I think it's value for money.
Do you
If
though?
you're, yeah,
Because you could buy. And remember, we had Peter Morgan on a
mm,
few episodes ago,
yeah.
and he was talking about all the different sort of backup systems you can have. I mean, you're looking at that sort of price for that, aren't you?
You
You
are.
know what
That's
I
right.
mean?
Yes. Yeah. But I think this just makes it more portable. I think,
Yeah, but not
you
as
know,
accessible. You can access those other systems on the internet and things like that, which I'm not sure if you'd be able to do with this. So I don't know. I think it's a lot. I think that price will come down. I mean, it's a new product, isn't it? So, you know, when everyone's doing 8 terabyte drives, SSD, then the price will come down.
of course it
Um,
will. Yeah.
so it probably won't be on my list quite yet.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. But this is where tech gets exciting. To me, this is where tech gets exciting. Forget all your AI nonsense and all of that and
We
everything.
said we weren't
You
going
know,
to say anything about AI in this
right? Yeah.
section.
Right. Right. But all these other little things that come out. That this to me is what gets photographers excited. I know that when we turn up to the shoot tomorrow with a load of other photographers, if I say to them, "Hey, look, do you want to have a look at my SanDisk desk drive, this 8 terabyte one? I'd pay £700." You know what?
Now there's an
Everybody would
offer.
be everybody would be crowding around that table. I'd have an
Do
audience
you think?
wanting to look at it. Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Even this small one that I've got, this Sandisk Pro, the portable one, even that. I mean, I know two photographers that have gone out and bought one since,
Oh, really?
and they absolutely love it. They said, "Oh, that's just amazing." And do you know what? The other thing is, Mark, they look really cool as well.
Oh, well, if
Got
they
to
look
hand,
cool, then
I've got to hand it to Sandisk. Okay, they've not, it's not an ugly product.
okay. I don't think
And
I've seen this. How much did that one cost you though? That one that you've got?
it's about £125.
Yeah, okay. So the Toshibas that I use, I think they're SSD.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, they're about the same. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's nowhere near as cool as this product. And what I'm backing up at the moment, I was backing up. I don't know how many gig of how much I was actually backing up. And it's a couple of minutes left. It's taken probably about, I think, 20 minutes. I think if
mm,
I'd done it using my other drives, I think I would have had to perhaps leave it here probably would have had to leave it here all day.
yeah.
But I've been able to do it. And just when we were sort of about to start recording, I got this going because I didn't realize I was going to show it, but I should be able to show it up on screen in a minute. But tech like this is I think they're good investments if you're not
Yes.
dealing with high volume stuff.
Mm,
I mean, if you're a wedding photographer, great because you're dealing with a lot of images. If you're we just come off the back of a graduation shoot, and after the images had been sorted and we'd gone through, and I was uploading images to the lab to go onto an online store. I had 9,500 images. Mark. That's
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
is.
images.
It's one or two, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a lot of images. And how many photographers regularly go out on a shoot and have nine and a
Yeah.
half thousand images to
It's
download?
yeah, it's not. It's a
Yeah,
different beast, really. It absolutely is. But I will just point out as well. Obviously this SanDisk, it does look cool. It's 8 TB. It's SSD. Guys, you don't need to spend that much on a decent drive. I would suggest. I mean, the one that you've got there, Cam, as you said. I mean, what's the capacity of yours? Sorry, is it? Did you
it's
say
a
two?
4 terabyte. It's a four
Four
terabyte.
terabyte.
This one.
Okay, so
Yeah,
4 TB at 120 odd quid is a good. That's not
limited
breaking the
good.
bank. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not breaking the bank.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But remember, it's an SSD drive, and that's what people need to be looking out for. So if someone says, oh, I can go out and buy a 4 terabyte portable drive far cheaper than that, yeah, you can do, definitely.
Mm,
But it's not going to be necessarily an SSD drive. You do get some great deals, and there's a lot of companies that put stuff like this out.
mm,
But you're not going to get you're not going to get an SSD drive sort of much different to that at that sort of
yeah,
price.
yeah.
But this is a time also when people should be thinking, I should review the gear that I've got. How much do I
Mm,
time sitting in front of a computer? How long do I have to leave stuff backing up for? Do I regularly leave stuff just backing up overnight? If it's taking 3 hours and it could be done in 10 minutes or something,
yeah,
then
yeah.
that can potentially be worth in money investing in. But for some people, it may not be because it may not make a difference. Some people may not
Mm,
what we do, Mark, when we're editing, when we're on the road and we're editing whilst on the road, and it's a crucial part of what we do. So it
yeah.
has actually now come to an end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unplug it, and I'll show you the portable one, which is this one here.
Oh, yeah. Does look
Okay.
pretty sweet. Just put it
Yeah,
in
that's
front of
right.
you,
Yeah.
Cam, so it's not.
Yep.
Yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
So basically, it's that there
And it's
fits
tiny
into.
as well.
I know
I
it
mean, that's
fits into the.
smaller than. Let's say this is my drive here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if this is SSD or not because it doesn't say
Yeah.
anywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
But it does
And
take
also,
quite a while to back up, so I'm guessing it's not.
yeah,
Um,
that's right. Yeah. And look how
but it's
narrow
smaller
that
than
is as
that.
well. Yeah. Look how narrow that is.
Yeah.
It's much, much smaller. In fact, if you give me 1 second, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go and grab something. Bear with me.
Okay. So I mean, I've got to entertain our listeners just for 2 minutes because Cam's decided that he wants to go off and do something. So yeah. So basically, when it comes to drives, make sure you get a good one. I mean, I tend to mirror my drive, so so if one does fail, then you still got the other one, and they're kind of labeled the same. So you
Yeah.
know which ones are missing and stuff, so you can actually sort of then replace and re-back up. Anyway, Cam's here now, so
Yeah.
I've
No.
done that. I've
Yeah.
filled for you, Cam.
Sorry. No, I don't have it here, but it was just one of those.
Oh, after all of that.
It was just one of those usual sort of small little 2 terabyte drives that you normally get. But
Yeah.
this here, I mean, it is absolutely tiny, and you know what? That looks pretty cool as well, doesn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. I mean, I don't really know why they put a hole in it, but
Thing is, yeah, you put your key ring over it, can't you? So you carry it around with you.
would you have that dangling on your keys? Imagine
No,
on your car keys by your knee. No, no.
yeah, no, definitely not. But that's what it is, and that's
Yeah.
about 125 pound. That's 4 terabyte one. The new one is different. The new one is bigger. It's like a little hub that you would have.
Yeah.
That
And imagine
sits
it'll be
as a
quicker as
desktop
well.
thing.
I'd imagine it'd be quicker.
Definitely.
Well, it needs to be if it's 700 quid for
Yeah.
8 TB. I mean, it's
Yeah,
only
that's right,
double
yeah.
what you've got there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All
Good
righty.
stuff. Okay. Everyone go out and buy. Okay.
Yeah, but preferably on our Patreon page. So
That's right, yeah, that's right,
that's
yeah.
a great segue. We will talk to about today. Thanks for supporting. We've got Rob Percy, Nick Payne, Amara Zainab, and Carl Sherville. Yeah, thank you very much for supporting us. We do apologise again about the lack of episode last week. We will do better. That will be our great comment, won't it? Needs to do better on that. But yeah, we look forward to speaking to you again. So bye for now.
Take care. Cheers, guys.